Hello, my name is Tristan, Wright. I am the SG Director of Student Relations. I am a fourth year ASL to English interpreting major at NTID. I came to RIT because I decided I wanted to become an interpreter. I have a degree from the University at Buffalo in community theater and French. When I graduated, I left Buffalo. I went and lived for 3 years on communes, and during that time got really interested in the concept of access and decided I wanted to become an interpreter because that's sort of where my head's at in terms of social justice and activism and etc. I became a part of student government through my work in the LGBT community on campus. I was the president of Outspoken, the LGBT representative organization in student government. I was president of that organization for 2 years. Last spring, I decided I was interested in becoming part of the student government cabinet and actually initially had applied for a position of programming director. And the president and vice president, in conjunction with one of last year's advisors, Dr. Carrie Pine, wisely realized that I was much better suited to be the student relations director, which allows me a lot more breadth. It's a lot more flexibility in terms of the projects that I take on. So my goals within student government include improving accessibility. That includes identifying ways that RIT services are not as accessible as they could be to students with disabilities, to deaf and hard of hearing students, for international students, commuter students, LGBT students, etc. So that's my big goal. One of my projects, both as a student living at River Knoll and as the director of student relations, involves doing some advocacy work on behalf of River Knoll, including dealing with River Knoll's internet, dealing with some of the structural problems of River Knoll, and really just sort of the culture and the segregation between River Knoll and some of the other housing on campus. So that's another one of my projects this year, is doing some River Knoll advocacy. I'm also working on an exchange program between NTID Student Congress and the Student Government Senate. So senators and NTID Student Congress members will be swapping where they do their office hours to make everybody somewhat more accessible. If you're looking for me, you can find me in my office Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I am often in this office at other times as well. You can also find me around at LBJ. If you would like to set up a time to meet with me or just want to chat with me over the internet, you can send me an email, sgrel@rit.edu, sgrel@rit.edu. I model my leadership after Leslie Knope on Parks and Recreation. I don't know if that's a closer, but it's an interesting fact.